You know that feeling when someone tells you not to look at something, and suddenly it's the only thing you want to see? It's just a funny little quirk of human nature, right? Well, in the digital age, that little quirk can have some seriously explosive consequences. Today, we're going to dive into a wild paradox: how trying to bury information can be the very thing that makes it famous. So, our story kicks off back in 2003 with this photo. I mean, at first glance, it's just an aerial shot of the California coast. It was one of 12,000 photos in a public project tracking coastal erosion. Kind of dry stuff, you'd think. But here's the twist. What if I told you that a massive attempt to scrub this one specific image from the internet is the only reason we're even talking about it today? Yeah, one act of censorship is what turned an obscure scientific photo into an absolute internet legend. So let's get into it. This is the story of Image 3850 and how a simple plan to protect privacy backfired in the most spectacular way possible. It turns out that beautiful cliffside home belonged to the one and only Barbara Streisand. And, citing her right to privacy, she filed a whopping $50 million lawsuit to get this one picture, Image 3850, taken down. So you think this photo must have been getting a ton of attention for her to go to such lengths, right? Well, before the lawsuit, guess how many times the photo had been downloaded? 6. I'm not kidding, just 6 times. And get this, 2 of those downloads were by her own lawyers. Okay, so what about after the news of her lawsuit went public? In the very next month, the website got more than 420,000 visitors. The act of trying to hide the photo put a giant, flashing spotlight right on it. So, how did it all end? Well, it was a complete and utter disaster for her. The court tossed out the lawsuit, and on top of that, she was ordered to pay the photographer's legal fees, all $177,000 of them. And the biggest irony? The photo she wanted gone was now absolutely everywhere. This whole incident was just so perfect, such a textbook case of a plan backfiring, that it was about to give this phenomenon a name that would stick forever. And here it is, our official definition, the Streisand Effect. When your attempt to hide something makes it way more famous than it ever would have been. It's the ultimate internet paradox. It's like trying to put out a tiny campfire with a tank or truck full of gasoline. The name was officially coined in 2005 by a tech blogger named Mike Masnick. He was writing about a totally different case, but he remembered the Streisand lawsuit and basically said, hey, let's just call this what it is, the Streisand Effect. And it stuck. So why does this happen? What is it deep inside our brains that makes us immediately want to see the very thing we're told we can't? Well, it all comes down to psychology. The main reason for this is a concept called psychological reactance. Now, that sounds complicated, but it's really just that rebellious, knee-jerk feeling you get when you feel like someone is trying to take away your freedom to choose, or, in this case, your freedom to see. It breaks down like this. Step 1. Somebody hides a piece of information. Step 2. Our brains immediately feel like our freedom to know things is being threatened. And step 3. To get that feeling of freedom back, we don't just feel motivated to find the info. We feel motivated to share it with absolutely everyone. It's our brain's way of fighting back against being controlled. And trust me, this effect goes way beyond celebrity photos. It pops up everywhere. Politics, tech, you name it. Let's just run through a quick gallery of some other classic backfires. All right, take a look at this. It's a French military radio station. In 2013, a French intelligence agency actually tried to force a volunteer Wikipedia editor to delete the page about this place. You already know where this is going, don't you? The moment word got out that they tried to censor it, the article was put back up and boom, it shot to the #1 most viewed page on all of French Wikipedia. A total classic. Or how about this crazy string of numbers and letters? This was an encryption key for HD DVDs. When corporations started sending legal threats to get it taken down, the internet basically said, oh, you want to play that game? People put the code on t-shirts, in songs, everywhere. It literally became known as the most famous number on the internet. And more recently, back in 2020, Twitter made the move to block a New York Post story about Hunter Biden. Researchers at MIT tracked what happened, and this chart says it all. The act of banning the article actually caused the rate of shares to nearly double. the censorship just amplified it.
And not even Beyoncé is immune to this. After her Super Bowl show in 2013, her publicist sent an email asking a website to please remove some supposedly unflattering photos. The result? Those exact photos went completely viral and became legendary memes.
And this isn't just an online thing. Check this out. A study found that when books are banned in U.S. school districts, their circulation in nearby libraries actually goes up by an average of 12%. That desire to know what we're not supposed to is just so powerful. So, what's the big lesson here? After seeing all these examples, what does the Streisand Effect really teach us about the world we live in?
I think the core lesson is this. In our totally connected world, trying to control information is like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips right through your fingers. When you try to force a narrative, you almost always end up losing control of it completely.
And that just leaves us with one last question to think about. In a world of screenshots, archives, and instant shares, is the very idea of erasing something from the internet just an illusion? It really seems like the harder you try to hide something, the more permanent it becomes.